Everyone is quitting HSR, man. You're a bad human being. You are supporting these predatory practices. It's now time to wrap it up. First of all, chat, you will have to be promised that you are neutral. I need everyone to type boom to show that you are neutral, right? Otherwise, I will not proceed. And then if y'all break the law, you die. All right, let's go. First video, devs listen by what cost?
Okay, so the 3.2 livestream in Honkai Star Rail is finally here, and we got so many new things to talk about, and I'm only gonna talk about the important stuff. So yeah, we will get new story, new events, some quality of life changes, but we really now care about Casteris and the anniversary. So devs for this livestream was almost fantastic, dude. But the only thing that ruined it was the thing that we were waiting for. They didn't remove the Casteris thing. The global passive is still there, and yeah, this is going to be bad for the game. It's sad that we're seeing this in the game. If it's gonna happen again and again, yeah, it's gonna be so bad, and I don't really think that anybody likes.
Oh my god, y'all have ADHD. Okay, I'm so sorry for yapping too fast and y'all can't get used to this normal. Okay, fine. I will speak slower.
This is really not that good. It really makes people have to pay money to get something like that. It's crazy. Like, it's already a gacha game. You make it way more predatory with this, and the power creep is going to be way more pushed now. If they add more characters like Casteris, it's going to be really bad. Now, I don't know if they add the character is going to be way more pushed now. If they add more characters like Casteris.
Oh my god, bro, literally called it cancerous. That's crazy.
It's going to be really bad. Now, I don't know if they add the character once every 2 years that have this, maybe, but for now, it's still bad. It's still not a good thing. Yeah, because Casteris isn't just power creep, it's just a global buff, and it just makes a character a must pull. I don't know why they didn't listen, dude. That was bad. It's
oh, right, yo, chat.
It's just a global buff, and it just...
This statement, right? This statement of because you have a global passive, it makes the character a must pull is a very, very big fallacy. That I've also talked about it in my personal, like once again, if you want to see my opinion, check out this video over here. Right? Check out this video. This is my full opinions. I think I yapped on for like 50 minutes, breaking out everything possible. But this is a fallacy, all right? Just because a unit have this global passive, it doesn't make them a must pull. And I kind of put up this tweet over here, which I think is getting a little bit of traction. She is not a must pull because she has a global passive. She's really not. Because at the end of the day, the effect itself, at least from what you see, it is not something that will make it or break it for a lot of players, right? This global passive, the issue why this is such a bad thing is because what this means for future units, for a potential future global passive that could be far more disgusting than what we see in Cassius right now. If you're pulling for Cassius, like for example, if you're pulling for Cassius because she's your wife, right? She's your girlfriend, she's your wife, you love her with all your heart, or like you need a DPS because you skip on every single virtue, you skip Aguilera, you need a virtue DPS, or even if you're like, you're just sick and tired of playing Silver, you're sick and tired of Firefly, all these are very, very good reasons to pull for Cassius, right? But you shouldn't be thinking, okay, just because she has this global passive buff, I need to pull for it. Because if you don't care about everything else, it's very easy to feel detached and you're like, oh my god, what if I didn't put her in the first place? Why don't even need it in the first place? And then you'll see more and more broken global passives, assuming it happens, and you'll be like, shit, who the fuck told me this is a must pull, right? So I really think this is not the right narrative, but that's just me personally.
This makes a character a must pull. I don't know why they didn't listen, dude. That was bad. It's like everybody was complaining about this, but they decided.
Yeah, if you're putting Cassius because she's cute, right? If she's your girlfriend, excellent. Continue. You can only have one girlfriend. I'm sure you guys will never cheat on your anime girlfriend, right? You only have one girlfriend. So, you know, this is the excellent reason. Absolutely.
To keep it, and it's not really that good. But on the other hand, with the anniversary, that was great. This is probably the best anniversary we saw in the big gacha games. We still didn't see the Wuthering Waves one, but for now, Honkai Star Rail, that is great. And also, it had so many new things. So first of all, we can get a free runway or a free luocha, which is something great. Although I have both, but getting a C1 runway will be good. And you can also choose from the standard banner. And the better thing is that they're adding also characters to the standards, as I saw, and you probably can choose one of them now. And all of this is fantastic. This is really good. Getting a limited 5-star and a good limited 5-star.
This is honestly ridiculously good, man. Like, oh my god, man. But because of the global passive thing, it's like nobody really talk about this. But this is really good, right? Holy HSR sale, kill you.
To say the least, that's a great one, and I hope that they let us choose more characters. I don't know why they chose Luocha and Runmei specifically, but I'm glad Runmei is there. Yes, Robin is probably better in some cases and things like that, but it's good that Runmei is still very good. It's a very good character, and getting the C1 will make her even more powerful. Or if you don't have her, she's gonna make your account even way better. And if you don't have a sustained character, Luocha is still a really good character.
Okay, chat, I just broke down whether or not you should be getting Runmei, where you should be getting E1 Runmei, E2 Runmei, E0, E1, E2. Check out the previous video on whether she will be even getting. I would say, generally speaking, it is not a, okay, I just get ramen and get it over and done with, right? Because depends on the box. Are you playing with Rick? Do you need a sustain? Who are you building or your main team, right? So just chill a little bit, right? Don't have to.
So that's great. And we have Zila, Blade, and Fushwan joining the standard banner. And the thing is, you can now customize your standard banner by removing 3 characters and adding the other 3. So you need 7 characters in the standard banner, and now we have 10 characters. So you can customize it. So you can choose kind of which character you can lose your 50-50 to, or you can get from the standard banner. And I think this is a really good thing. So some people didn't understand it because it was really fast. So yeah, this is how it works. You can choose 3 standard characters to put them in the banner. But also you can get now their light cones easily by getting them from the shop. But also another great thing they're doing now is that Silver Wolf, Blade, Kafka, and Jing Liu are receiving direct buffs in the game. This never happened in Genshin. This obviously didn't happen in Honkai Star Rail, and we didn't see that before. We always
is bro using like an AI to subtitle? What the fuck is going on, bro?
This never happened in Genshin. This obviously didn't happen in Honkai Star Rail.
In Honkai Royal. That's crazy.
And we didn't see that before. We always see indirect buffs, and I'm glad they're finally doing this and they're starting to do this. And I don't know, we still cannot judge that. I still cannot hype this a lot because we didn't see how the buffs are going to be.
Bro, Honkai Royal is a crazy acronym.
They need bigger buffs. They need way bigger buff, not just a slight buff to come back into the meta. So if they really give them a big buff, that would be really, really great. If they really do it right, we still didn't see how they're going to buff them, and I hope they buff them well. Also, we got 30 free pulls, which is also something free. That's great. But they announced from now that we're getting a free limited 5-star, just like we got Dr. Ratio at the time. Well, Dr. Ratio isn't that good.
Okay,
now,
I think Bron is a better AI program for the subtitles. Or like just fire his subtitle. Who the hell did he fire for his subtitles? That's crazy. It's like, bro, just spent like 2 seconds. Yeah, I'm done.
Good. When we got him, so we probably will get another character. Hopefully he's good. Hopefully he's not just a random character that is not that good. That is not really gonna be a special thing in our account. I don't know. Yeah, what do you think about the live stream? What do you think about Honkai Star Rail now?
What about the Luster?
Are you quitting? Or what are you gonna do with the game? Anyway, I don't want to waste your time. That was the video. Bye-bye.
Yippee! Very, very good. So there's gonna be video. Okay, this I feel like it's pretty. I think it's quite nuanced. Right? He definitely brought up the good points. I think they're really, really good points, especially for an end-race live stream. Right? The global passive, we talk about it, but I think this. I'll give this a solid Hogstar Royal out of 10. Very, very good. There's gonna be stioorg next. Am I skipping Castorus? 8 minutes. Let's fucking go, man.
Am I skipping rice ball casserole? Well, boys, today we're here to talk about it. If you don't know, the 3.2 live stream just happened, and I want to make a video to quickly talk about my whole thoughts on the passive, everything that's happening with it, and then what I'm going to do with Casserole, because I've made a lot of comments about it previously, but I kind of just want to bring that to a conclusion today, and just give you guys my full opinion on everything, but nonetheless...
Okay, this is the right video. All right, this is the right video.
Let's jump right into it. So if you guys don't know, about 1 month ago was when we first heard about the passive was coming out, and I immediately talked about it in a video. I made sure to let you guys know how bad this was for the game, because I really wanted to set that point forward to just make an example of how predatory this practice was, because it is. And the video had an overall pretty positive reception, and I think most people understood generally this isn't a good thing for the industry, and it's going to be a negative example for other games going forward. Locking up what we call global buffs behind paywalls is generally a bad thing. And so that was the video I made a month ago. Just saying, hey guys, it's bad. I don't agree with it. If they can change it before the update comes out, I would love that. I think it'd be good. But obviously, I'm not an idiot, and I'm acutely aware that NA is generally less listened to, and we were the only ones who were really, quote-unquote, outraged about it. CN, from my understanding, didn't really care. So nonetheless, the live stream then happens, and it's revealed that the passive is still here, which I had already known about this for a couple weeks. It was hard to avoid leaks this time. Leaks were all over the internet for this 3.2 update. It was almost impossible to avoid them. They were the most viewed thing on YouTube for weeks. Twitter. It was basically impossible to avoid leaks about this, even though I try to. So I knew Casserole's passive was going to come out, and that there was not much we could do about it. To just tell you quickly what the passive does, it's actually not that overpowered if we're being real. She can basically protect her allies from one like fatal attack and revive them for a set amount of time. They will now have their death delayed. It's essentially just a worse version of the Bailu buff. But the big part is it works even when she's not on the team. And I think a lot of people misunderstand that. They think that the problem is the buff itself, which it really isn't. This buff on its own is really not a problem. It's honestly not all that game changing. It's not like this is going to like change the universe of Honkai Star Rail forever, and this is going to break every single account. But what's bad about it is the precedent it sets and what it could mean for the future of Honkai Star Rail. Because we now might start seeing more global buffs locked behind paywalls. All of your on-field characters get 2,000,000% crit rate, even when this character isn't in your team. That might be a little exaggeratory, but that could be the possible future. And the thing is, this really doesn't just affect Hoyo games, because as we know, Hoyoverse is the market standard that a lot of these other companies like to follow. So when Hoyoverse makes a predatory change like this, a lot of other companies usually follow in their wake, as we've seen with the 50/50 system, for example, or the shops, and how much they charge for the currencies in there.
Bro, imagine what Wuthering Waves does this. Damn.
Their shops. A lot of companies seem to follow suit, and also they follow suit in their own other games. So when Hoyoverse sets a norm like this, it's generally considered a bad thing. And what I generally thought was even worse in this live stream was this whole golden companion spirit thing. I am really not a fan of this. I think it's good they're giving away one for free, but I would rather they just give a free 5-star character selector than adding a system where you are required to get a E6 5-star in order to exchange for one other character, which I talked about a bit in my video yesterday where I talked about the 3.2 update. Albeit that title is a bit exaggeratory, I'll be honest. I don't think 3.2 was a disaster, but it was a catchy title. And there were definitely some disaster elements about it. But anyways, I feel like I'm getting a little off topic here. What I'm trying to say with the whole Casteries passive is I disagree inherently with what it stands for, but the actual passive itself, I don't mind it. In fact, if I got on my account, I probably wouldn't even think twice about it, because I don't die, because I'm good at the game and built different. Now, I've thought a lot about pulling this character, and I've kind of seen that there's two paths. One path, I pull the character and become a bit of a hypocrite, because I've said so much negative about what this passive is and how much I disagree with it, but at the same time, I'd be pulling the character. Then there's the other path where I don't become a hypocrite and I stand with what I don't believe in. However, I don't get casserole for any of my accounts, get farther back in the game than everybody else. And because I am a Honkai Star Rail channel, my channel would take a very big dip, and it would affect me financially, being honest. It would affect my accounts, obviously. Like you guys all know, we have our Remembrance only accounts, which we're doing, which a big motivation for that series has been going out and rolling for that character. So I really wanted to do that. I really did. And I know
So not pulling for Casteries would literally ruin his life. That's very unfortunate.
a lot of you are probably thinking, well, just roll for the character on that one account, but not your other ones. It's kind of pointless. If I roll for a character out on one account, but then not the other, it's basically no different than rolling for the character on all my accounts. It's still setting the same precedent. At the same time, I would still be a hypocrite either way. It's just, would you want to be a big hypocrite or a small hypocrite would be the only difference. And maybe I'm thinking a bit too much about it. And I think I might even just be manufacturing hate on myself that just wouldn't exist if I pulled the character and I didn't think about it. But it's something that's really been weighing on my mind, because I really do just want to pull the character if I'm being real with myself. I do. At the end of the day, I think this character, beyond the global passive and beyond what it represents, I think I have to pull her.
Oh my god, Gaijin,
and I
tier
feel
3,
like
holy
this
shit.
should be more of an apology video than anything.
Strong.
You can't say that. Stop. Okay, but thank you for so much of tier 3. Yippee, thank you so much. 18 years of tier 3.
Because I do feel bad about saying all these things and then doing other said thing.
Okay, I do want to say that his point as well is quite interesting, which is it's actually something that I wanted to talk about, which is after everything, this tweet right here, which was brought up by one of my 8-month subscriber. And I had a very, very similar, not really similar, but it was kind of touching on the same point, which is, do you pull for Casteries? Because if you pull for Casteries, you're deemed as like a hypocrite. And you're like, in his words, what is his words again? I am rewarding Hoyo for this shit. Or like, I don't have a backbone, right? I need to have some balls, right? So we're actually going to be talking about this. But yep, I understand what this guy's saying. I understand what this guy's saying.
Some degree of fairness to myself. I had already had plans to pull this character before I even knew about the global passive. So I guess there's that going. But after that, I felt really steadfast in my belief that I wasn't going to pull her. But then after I uploaded my Remembrance Only video, episode 8, and I did a whole segment at the end of this video asking you guys, hey, do you care if I pull the character? Because at the end of the day, a lot of what I do on this account is for you guys, the fans, right? And the pretty overwhelming majority, in fact, basically everybody, I didn't think I see like any comments telling me not
This guy's a fucking sociopath, guys. Who the hell is this in light mode? That's crazy.
to pull her. Everybody was saying, just pull her. We simply just do not care. Like you can see here, the pretty overall majority, all the top comments are like, definitely pull her. The situation's bad, but you should pull her on this account. It's fair. So I know my fans are fine with it, or at least I feel like that. But I just have this really big, overwhelming anxiety coming off as a hypocrite and someone who doesn't keep up with what they say online.
Damn.
But I think today,
Anxiety attack.
it's just a title that I'm gonna have to bear either way. So if you are upset with me over this, or you feel like I'm less genuine because of it, or if you just don't want to support me after this, I get it. I think you're completely justified in that decision, because a lot of my decision to pull for this character comes from a need for views, and personal greed, because I like the character. I enjoy her. I think she's fun, cute, has some of the coolest animations in the game. And so that's where a lot of my desire comes from. And then, of course, also wanting to further my own personal account. So to some degree, I am right now putting my own morals aside for what I would call personal greed. And I'm just being 100% transparent about that.
Bro is being
I'm sorry
greedy.
I didn't stick through with my word. I am just a weak-minded human being who
Oh my
will
God.
continue to eat the slop, even though I'm aware how bad it is.
Holy
Anyways,
shit.
thank you for watching. Peace.
Oh my god. Okay, this guy needs to chill. Like, I understand where he's coming from. He feels like he's letting down his community, his fan base by pulling casters. He's having anxiety for pulling casters. If you feel that pulling a unit will lead to so much implications that you are a bad human being, you are supporting these predatory practices. I feel like it really is not the right mindset to have, because I'm not saying this Kekvin specifically, but like, why did bro make a YouTube channel, right? Because at least he's saying like, oh, he want to do it for views, and his channel is a HN star.
Today
But
we start
the thing
a
is,
new.
before he even started these out, and I feel I can speak this for like a lot of content creators, is that you start out content creation because you have fun with the game, right? Nobody is gonna know if you start content creation today or next year that you're gonna earn like money out of it, right? I feel that is how somebody that is logged into the field starts out, because you have this passion for the game in the first place. At least that's how I started out playing content creation, right? I didn't start out thinking, okay, I'm gonna quit my job and be like a full-time streamer or whatever. It started out because I like playing Honkai Star Rail, and at the same time, I was doing it with my full-time job. And then it kind of built up from there. And I don't think this should be questioned on whether or not you want to pull for a unit with or without global passive. It's just really not that deep. Which sort of ties back into this comment that I'll be talking about later, which is if you pull for a Caceres unit, right, or if you pull for any global passive unit, it doesn't make you any worse of a human being. It's almost to the point where, okay, what if like you get clothes from Shein? They use like, I don't think they're using like very good like labor practices for like their workers, right? Or like, what if you buy food from like any sort of like market and they're not doing like, they're not ethically raised or whatever. There's like so many implications that could happen if you were to be a consumer for whatever product, but it's just really not that deep. Like, if you want to consume it, then just consume it. You don't have to explain to anyone that, oh my god, I'm sorry for letting you guys down. Oh my god, I'm a hypocrite and I deserve it. No, man. I think this is just at least that's not how I would feel about it. But I'll give this a anxiety out of 10. With that, we have two big boys. Okay, let's go with Gacha Smack first. I don't think I'm gonna be having meta discussions with bro ever again, but this is gonna be the end of an era. Okay, yeah, for Jenkins, what it is. Let's go.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another
Wah,
video of
wah,
Yours
wah.
Truly. I know for a fact y'all have been waiting on me to either go live or for me to upload a video on this particular topic. Here we are.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
we
go ahead
go.
and tell you right off rip, it's been a good run with HSR. We had
Oh
some
my
fun
God.
with this game for about I guess coming up on
It's
2
over, I
years,
guess.
which is crazy. And so, yeah, if you take that into consideration, I think it's okay for people to move on from a game that's given them some entertainment for a couple of years.
Absolutely.
But it's gotten to the point now where I refuse to support a game that is just so blatantly stepping on your dollar. And I mean, it's quite pathetic, to be honest. In this live stream, I clocked them pretty accurately. They are going through with the global passive, and then they're trying to damage control and mitigate this garbage implementation by
Gacha Smack
riddling you with
graduation is
these
crazy.
things that are
Bro is a YouTuber.
evidently scraping the bottom of the barrel and giving it to you. The shit probably tastes like particles of WD-40 once you're done consuming it. Anyways, before we get into it, I want you to understand, I hold no ill will, hostility, animosity, tension, whatever you want to call it. I'm not hate watching. I'm not out to get Hoyoverse. We're just simply keeping it a buck as we always do. And so with that, we already put down notes of everything I deemed of relevancy in that live stream that's worth going over. And I'm going to point them out, weigh in on it, and then we're gonna go to the next topic, and at the end we'll give a whole, we'll shoot it straight. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. All right, starting off with number one, resetting the top-up shop. We all know it's a normal thing that when the anniversary comes up, they reset the top-up shop. But it's the biggest pump fake in gacha history. Number one, nobody should ever make a purchase out of that top-up shop unless you're a creator who is using that purchase as a write-off and then turning it around and flipping it into a profit because you're a content creator. Even then, I still don't think this should happen. But that's one reason. The second reason is because they've now caught on that this works really well with anniversaries. A lot of people fall for it and top up because they get the double bonus. And now they've used it as an opportunity to pull off one of the biggest fucking scams in gacha history, which is going to be Castrus's global passive has officially been confirmed straight from the horse's mouth. You're now able to revive a character, whether she's on the team or not on the team. You just have to simply own the character on your account. Now, a moron with low intelligence would go, well, it's not that big of a deal. It's just reviving a character. I don't really die in this game, honestly. Yeah, that's the exact mentality that they want you to have, because this is the micro step concept I told you about the other day, where they want you to first enable this, and then later they're going to go, oh yeah, if you own this character, he's going to enable you to get an additional turn. If you own this character, your whole account will be able to ignore 15% of the enemy's defense. And then it's going to be a slippery slope to the point where you're not going to realize they've now taken the power out of your hands on what you should pull on and placed it into their hands. So now they are in charge of what you should pull on by basically going, hey, if you miss out on this character, then you're missing out on this buff. And this buff is obviously going to make your whole account stronger. It is the worst garbage I have ever seen in my tenure of covering gacha games. And guess what? They're giving you a nice little boost and encouragement with that top-up shop refresh. Real slimy, nasty work here, boys. But we've already talked about this in my uninstall video where I went on a nice little walk. By the way, fun fact, I wanted to go on a walk today for this video, but unfortunately it's raining outside and the lighting's ass. So
That would be so fucking cinema. Like, he just rips into this entire thing while just walking. Oh my fucking god, I fucking dropped my protein bar. Yeah, like when he just fucking walking and like just ripping in the middle of a street. That would be crazy.
Well, I guess we'll go into the good old office and get it done. Let's continue on. 3326. Oh yeah, this is a good one. I timestamped everything I'm referencing, by the way. If you want to go to the live stream and look at this stuff, you can. The reason why I didn't react to the live stream is because I refused to promote their garbage little act where they try to make it seem like these are good things. Yeah, no, buddy, ain't nobody falling for that shit. I'm gonna shoot it to you straight without you having to watch that. Running Fugue on the Castrus banner. Oh man, dude. So yeah, I told y'all. How many times did y'all see a lot of these dipshits trying to tell you that the rerun banners are a positive thing because they tried to take the idea of reruns, meaning you have more options to choose from, but in reality, they're just giving you the best options to choose from all in the same exact time period, which is going to get you to spend more money than you're comfortable with spending. It's a horrible idea only because of how they implement it. And guess what? Smack was right. Smack's always fucking right. That's the thing. You guys, some of you guys are
He is him.
Now, 4614, 30 pulls. No reaction. Why is there no reaction, Smack? Well, when you look at the top up prices and you look at the aggression of power creep in this game, and you look at the 50-50 system, what the hell is 30 pulls going to do for you? Most likely fuck all. That's the reality of it. Next one, 4655. Free Lorcha or a free Ron May. Man, now this is an interesting one to cover because I already know a lot of people out there are sitting here glazing this shit like it is God's greatest gift to earth. Buddy, let me give you a bit of a reality check here, okay? Sure, maybe a new player thinks this is good because the new player has no idea that Ron May is already on the decline in value. But for a veteran player, how many times has Ron maybe been reran now? But maybe 85% of the whole entire veteran player base owns Ruan May. So we can make an argument, maybe 10% of us, 15% of us are benefiting from this. What about the veteran player who already has a Ranmei or even an E1 Ranmei or a Lorcha who's completely fucking useless? What's your argument here? Oh, Castrus is actually draining everyone's HP, so Lorcha's got some value now. Oh yeah, until they drop the pink hair bitch that does it better than him and then he becomes obsolete again. This is, once again, presenting you copper, and one or two things follows up after this. You convince yourself that it's gold, or they convince you that it's gold. One or two options both lead to cope. This is garbage that 85% of the veteran player base can't really do anything with that. You know what would have been a power move? Saying, hey, guys, after presenting this, we also understand that some of y'all may already find Lorcha a bit useless, and Ron May might be a prized possession that you already own. And so, for the people and the veteran players that don't find this of real value, we have this for you. Maybe you could choose a signature light cone of choice based off the characters you own on your roster. That wouldn't be the craziest thing, but at least it would be much better than picking up some shit you're not really gonna do anything with. I'll be honest with you, E2 Ron May, mid.
Wait, does he know they can save it? Or maybe he doesn't know. I don't know.
E1 Lorcha, mid. What's that, 20% attack boost or some shit like that? Who gives a flying fuck about that? Securing them both right now too, while they're on the decline. Yeah, scraping off the bottom of that barrel, right? Scraping off the bottom of that barrel, and you take a bite out of it and you realize there's particles left over from WD-40. It kind of tastes like shit. And if it hasn't hit you yet, it'll hit you down the line. Now, you know what they could have done? Could have gave you a fugue right here. Anyways, you might very well view that as a positive. You might very well view that as a better than nothing. Oh, that's your mentality, not mine's, bucko. Anyways, moving on to the next one. 4710 Max 5-star dupe. Now, this one was, oh man, it was fucking hilarious to me. So if I understood this correctly, the condition to make this occur means you have to own a E6 of a standard banner character, like a or like a regular character, sure, but you have to have an E6 of a 5-star character. Now, I want to give you guys a bit of context that I think is important to share. I do not own a single E6 5-star character, and I've spent thousands of dollars on this game. Yeah. Now, if you're the dipshit that goes, well, I got him, who cares about what you have? We're talking about the average person playing Honkai Star Rail, which 90%, maybe even 99% do not have a E6 of a character, to the point where you would think that if you get an E6 of a character, they would just give you 2 tokens. But no, you get 1 of 2 tokens after you get a dupe of a character you've already E6'd. You get half of the resources required so that you could then convert those resources into buying a character from the shop. Now, it's also applied retroactively, which means if you've already gotten dupes of E6 5-star characters, they're gonna just outright give you these tokens. But you know the only people who are gonna have that condition? Whales. Yeah, that means every single other person out there is not benefiting from this in the slightest. God knows when you're gonna actually have an E6 5-star character on your account. What's wild about this is, once again, this is literally scraping the bottom of the goddamn barrel with the WD-40 particle remnants going into your mouth, bro, and presenting it to you like it's gold. It's copper. Oh yeah, this is a good one. Can customize non-boosted 5-star characters. Oh, first of all, I don't even know what the fuck this means, and I've been playing the game since launch. What the hell is a non-boosted character? Does that mean that they don't have eidolons? Is that what that means? And if we, if we analyze this in the opposite direction, does that mean that if you do have like a E1 blade or E1 Scylla, then you can't put them in the shop? I genuinely was, this is what the wording that they used in the translation. So if that's what that means, then they're gatekeeping you from getting more eidolons on characters that are fucking washed. They're absolute F tier. They fell off harder than Ja Rule. I mean, like, brother.
Okay, wait. One thing, right? One thing, Yo, chat. Look at that. Our GOAT Scylla. 2 core 0 cycle Nikado Avago. This is why Scylla is navigating buff, right? She's navigating buff. Okay, yeah, but I was saying, let's just move on a little bit, right? Quick.
We're gatekeeping characters that no one plays anymore because they suck balls. Blade, Scylla, Fushuan are being added as options for the standard banner. I'll admit, Fushuan doesn't suck balls, but at the same time, here's the other thing. Here's the other reality, though. I can't believe I have to even like math this out for people. So the
He's
standard
smacking
banner
out.
is not getting rid of Japard, Bailu, Yang King, and all them. No, they're still keeping them inside of this gacha simulator. And they're putting these guys inside of there too. So it's not like you're able to like guarantee these picks if you lose or if you get the pity. No, you still very much can get a Japard, a Yang King, a goddamn Bailu, and still be like, well, I guess it's something, bro. Once again, maximizing revenue, but giving you back garbage in return. Guys, I want to take a quick break here, and I want you to understand that the money they're going to make from retards on this right here, the global passive Casterus, in the top-up shop reset, they're gonna probably make in totality of PC sales and phone sales $200 to $300 million. And what they're gonna do in return for you giving them $200 to $300 million is they're gonna give you an update that doesn't even cost them $1 million. That's the reality of it. I know it's absolutely pathetic, but that's the reality of it here. Now, once again, if you think that I am doing this with bad faith, with vitriol fillings, with like animosity, I'm not. I'm just telling you the truth. All you gotta do is look at the updates, the lack of facial expressions on the characters, the lack of animations, and all these other things that just are missing in the game, but they're ramping up the aggression of their monetization model. Just do the math yourself, fellas. I'm serious. Now moving on, 4825. Ooh, this is a good one because I know this pump faked a lot of people. Oh, I know this pump faked a lot of people. And here's the thing. Maybe it could be good, but let's talk about the facts here. At 4825, they mentioned that they're going to be buffing Silverwolf, Blade, Kafka, and Jingliu in 3.4. How many people are celebrating this? People who are cooked in the head from playing gacha games. That's who are celebrating this. But let me talk to you from a rational person that really knows this shit well without falling for all this garbage that they try to. Once again, you watch that live stream, they're like, hey, and just so you, they like to gas themselves up. And guess what else we're doing, guys? We're buffing the old characters. Now, here's the reality, fellas. You ready for this? They did not specify anything at all. Like, not an ounce of the details of this. They literally are stalling the fucking details to keep you on the hook and continue playing this game and hold on to the hope that they're gonna do what's in your best interest. You still don't know the details of what's going to happen to these characters unless you look at leakers. And leakers, I don't want to hear it from your mouth. I want to hear it from their mouth. You want to know why I want to hear it from their mouth? Because I want them to once in their life do what's best for the consumer so that the consumer can move on. But the reason they're not revealing the details, it isn't that they don't have them available for you to know right now. It's just literally to stall. I'm dead ass. They're stalling this and trying to get as close as they can to the next scam that they can get away with, right? Which they know a lot of you guys are waiting on the fake collab too. So the longer they can stall things like this, the better they can get away with these little scummy practices that they like to do. It's fucking hilarious to me, I'll be honest. It really is funny. But if they announced that they're going to be buffing Silverwolf, Blade, Kafka, and Jingliu over 6 weeks ago, right? In the last patch, they announced this shit. Why couldn't they announce the details in the next live stream? There is no excuse for it other than what I just explained to you. Guys, they announced the Casterus global passive and all these other egregious shits before they announced what they're going to be doing with these characters. How long have you been waiting as a Blade player on Blade to finally be playable again? Kafka and Jingliu to finally be in the spotlight again. They don't care about the money you spent on these characters at all. They're only going to use it when it's good to present something else to make a profit off of. See, this is the perfect time to mention these things when they're trying to sell the global passive and set a new precedent that's going to ripple across the space. I think y'all get where I'm going with that. The fact that you got to wait till 3.4, not 3.3, the next patch, but 3.4. It's just sad. It is just fucking sad, boys. I'm sorry. It's just horrible. Moving on. 4847, brand new limited 5-star character for free without announcing when or who exactly. Now, they might have left the when or who in obscurity, but the fact that you're getting a brand new 5-star limited character, there's no way for me to like really shit on that. I'll be honest. It's cool, but I don't respect the fact that they announced it so early. You might as well just keep that as silence. But I know why you announce it early. It goes back to this. Keep the player on the hook. It's the name of the game. Keep you hooked. Keep you playing. Increase the money they're going to make off the Caster's Global Passive, because once they get that money, well, they've got you. They got you beat. Right? Now they have the power to chill again. They don't have to work as hard again because you gave them your money. So what can they do to keep you on the hook? You're getting a free 5-star limited character. We're going to announce that shit.
Hoyo versus Blitzcrank, man.
You see how slimy these practices are. But you get these dipshits in our community, content creators included, that like will praise this shit. Praise it, and it's like, bro, they haven't even said when or where. What the hell?
Hogstar Royal.
I mean, that's insane. Sure, it's good, but when's it happening? Oh, so they just wanted to announce that to keep you on the hook. Great. I'm glad we're on the same page there. Let's continue on. Adding in more cutscenes for people to have a better story consumption experience in HSR. Animated short will be inside of 3.2 story. This is something that I directly scrutinized, that Ryuku directly scrutinized. And I'll be honest, it's really nice to see that they finally addressed it. But in my opinion, it's $1 late and a day short, or a day late and $1 short. That's the actual correct saying. Yeah, I mean, this is once again something that should have already been improved upon, honestly, before Pinacone came out. Before Pinacone came out, this shit should have been improved upon. The only reason they're doing it now is because they've been getting their shit grilled and memed upon on the space, thanks to people like me and Tectone and Ryuku, all the people that grilled them about their dog shit ass animations in the game. They're finally putting their foot on the gas with it because of that. But if you don't speak up, if you don't critically observe and give that feedback, honestly, in the worst way possible, they will never put more effort in that's required, because you're giving them money for doing the bare minimum. And so it's important to realize that your constructive criticism, that you not spending money and that you uninstalling is a
Oh my god, yo, mods, pause. Completely unrelated. Can we rename Narcissist to Humble? I think it's easier to type. Thanks. Yo, mods, help me rename Narcissist to Humble. Thank you. Very, very good.
for this game to improve, because these devs, oh, they don't give a fuck, bro. They only care about this right here, okay? Let's continue on. We're getting through it, boys. We're getting through it. Okay, 50-30. Main stories are planned for more than a year in advance. Ooh, I'm glad I put this down. This is not a quality of life. This is not some update you're getting. It's nothing other than I got it straight from the horse's mouth. Do you remember, seriously, Gacha Smack community in particular, do you remember these fucking retards I was arguing with? And I was telling them, they were like, hey man, what do you want them to do? They're on a 6-week schedule. They're working as hard as they can. These dumb fucks thought that these developers, in terms of giving you these updates, are really trying to meet the confines of a 6-week like window to get you out these things. Oh, the guy who's writing this, he's sweating his fucking dick off. Oh, I gotta finish in, we only got 3 minutes left until the update goes live. Oh boy. I gotta do it all over again for the next update. That was the mentality of so many people out there. And I remember telling them, hey guys, you realize this is $1 billion company, one of the most private successful companies out there in the world. They can outsource anything they're doing in their game and work on it simultaneously, because they can just go, here's the money, go get the team to work on that while we're working on this. And so they can have a team working on 2.8 while a team's working on 2.7, while a team's working on 2.6, so on and so forth. That's how it works when you have billions of dollars. You have unlimited resources to outsource work that needs to get done. That's the power of money. It's not rocket science. And so when I heard that guy at 50-30 go, main stories are planned for more than a year in advance, that was the only thing I needed to hear, because it came straight from the guy himself. They do not work on a 6-week schedule in any capacity. All these things are being worked on in advance thanks to the power of money, okay? So when you dipshits think that they're just giving you a lower quality story, a lower quality dialogue and presentation, it ain't because they're battling the clock, bruh. It's just not. It's because you are giving them maximum profits for them doing the bare minimum. That shit sink in. All right, let's continue on. Oh, this is the final one. Adding in more story for Pinacone to fill in the blanks. You know what's funny? I have nothing to scrutinize about this. This is something that actually they didn't have to do. There's nothing but positive about this. The fact that they're going back to Pinacone to add in some of those plot holes, right? What the fuck were the mask fools doing behind the scenes? What happened to, I forget the name of them, Acheron sent them all to the Shadow Realm. What happened there? They're adding in more story retroactively for Pinacone, for people to go back and experience, or people who are coming into HSR to experience. This is the only real thing that I was like, oh, wow, damn. I guess they got a little bit of heart left. But guys, when you look at all of this, I want you to understand, that's why I uninstalled Honkai Star Rail. And I uninstalled Zenless Zone Zero. And I uninstalled Hoyo Play.
Oh my god, what an insane outro. Damn, I did not expect that outro. That was so incredibly straight to the point.
I want you to understand, that's why I uninstalled Honkai Star Rail. And I uninstalled Zenless Zone Zero. And I uninstalled Hoyo Play.
Oh my god. Alright, that's good. That's good. That's good. Okay, chat, we have one last video, and this just came out fresh off the shelf 1 hour ago. The final boss, the 3.2 Honkai Star Rail live stream. Okay, but before we watch this video, which is gonna be, I'm thinking this is gonna be absolute fucking cinema, because bro is literally in a goddamn forest in a lake, right? So I feel like a lot of Gacha Smack's points, the way that all is phrased, and he feels this way, they're all valid. Right, they're all valid, right? There's a multi-billion-dollar company, you know, power creep, units are way too fucking expensive, you need to get easy. All the things that, from his perspective, it's very, very valid. But I think, generally speaking, what I feel is, I don't think Global Passive was the one that made him quit the game. Alright, obviously, because we have all these things combined, it was more so like, with the combination of all these things lumped into one, it's just a little bit unfortunate that 2 years later, you know, back in 2 years ago when we all started playing HSR, and then like, you know, it's no longer fun for him. I feel like he is no longer having fun, and that should be good enough. No matter how much you want to care about the aggression of power creep, you want to care about the rework to the system, you want to care about whether or not this company is predatory, which it is, every single gacha company in the world is predatory. I feel like if you're just not having fun in the game and you want to quit, then it is what it is, man. Because even if all these things happen, right, I'm looking from the other perspective where, let's just say like Riot Games or Pokemon. I always like to use Riot Games and Pokemon, because like Riot Games as a League of Legends with like their brand new gacha, with like their skins, they remove hex textures, or like Pokemon, you know, Pokemon generation games, I think they picked the Gen 3. You know, it is what it hasn't really improved that much. In fact, some might even say it's very, very controversial the way they do it. But if I'm still having fun playing it, I will still play it. Doesn't really have a stand of whether or not because I love the company that made it, but just because of the fact that I enjoy it, that's good enough. And if I don't enjoy it, on the flip side, no matter how much quality of life, no matter how much devs listen, how much benefits, 200, 300 pulls, all these things, it wouldn't really matter a lot to me if I'm not having fun with the actual game itself. So, yeah, that's just what I feel. All right, okay, Tectone.
Hey, what up, boys? So, obviously, I'm not in my usual setup. For the first time in 9 months, I'm actually going to go on a little bit of vacation. And here we are again, where I cannot help myself but weigh in on the Honkai Star Rail 3.2 developer live stream. And I think there's a common trend where whenever I don't react to the live stream, a lot less people are a lot less outspoken about what's going on in the live stream. I was desperately looking for anybody else's opinion to make me not feel like I'm going fucking crazy, yet all of those opinions are in my DMs, and none of those opinions are on any streams or YouTube videos that I was able to catch. That doesn't mean that that doesn't mean that they don't exist. I just don't know why they're not there. I have a lot of opinions, and this isn't going to be a dramatic video. This is my relaxed voice. It's nice being relaxed.
Chill. He's just
got
so
on a plane
chill.
flight this morning at 6 a.m. and I flew out to you know, an undisclosed location, and it's just been very nice. I'm actually so relaxed.
Yo, GeoGuessers, find this place now.
And I'm going to make a video on this. I've been on the verge of tears because I've just been so fucking stressed all the time.
Oh my god, are you okay?
So it's nice being out in the forest.
Holy shit.
And I think I'm going to stay out here for a while. I don't know when I'll be back, but hopefully this vacation lasts longer than 2 days. Yeah, we'll see. Anyways, Honkai Star Rail 3.2. I wrote some notes here. I wasn't able to catch it live. I was just bouncing in from friends chat to friends chat. You know, I saw a little bit of Genized. Genized was actually pretty outspoken about how he felt, which made me very happy. Saw MrPokke's reaction. Yep. Saw, you know, a lot of people talking about it. I wrote some notes down here real quick, and let me go through all this, what I wrote down.
And there
also
it is.
shout outs to Sarah for making sure I didn't miss anything.
And there it is,
love her to
Sarah.
death.
And there it is. Whoa, let's hear that again. Let's hear it again. What the hell did he just say?
And also shout outs to Sarah
And there it
for
is.
making sure I didn't miss
Hail
anything.
Sarah, hail
love her
Sarah.
to death.
Never change.
Let's go over the 3.2 developer live from Honkai Star Rail. So we got a Pong cute animal minigame where you toss seals.
Oh,
at
so
each
this is basically Sarah's tweet, which she gave it to me to yoink, which I told her to do, and then she gave the exact same thing to Tectone. All right, thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Sarah. Yo, Brett, can we just do everything from now on? Right? Okay, right. Thank you.
And it'll have multiplayer, base builder, Farmville-like minigame with chibi models like last year's Monopoly. One free golden token that can buy a 5-star in shop, Luocha Ruan Mei. Standard banner units, more limited units will be added later, and you can save it. Myriad Celestia trailer, like cutscenes being added directly to story instead of just on their YouTube. One free 5-star character later in 3.x patches. Blade, Kafka, Jingliu, Silver Wolf buffs in 3.4, 20 gold limited pulls, 1,600 stellar jades, Penacony story rework added in 3.8, cut content being re-added, can replace limited banner 50/50 losses with Zila, Blade, Fushuan over standard units, select 7 of the 10. There's whale stuff, which is double top-up refresh, 18,000 to get second golden token, which will be $144.97. 8,000 for the 4 of the light cone currency, which is
God, Pogi is such a
$64.98.
handsome CC
New
by
light
Johnny
cone shop,
Dagger 123. I
$9.99,
appreciate
Battle
you.
Pass gives 1 shard. $19.99, Battle Pass gives 2 shards. Castris, Fug You, Zhao Chi, or Zhao Cho, Acheron, Anaxa, Dr. Ratio. And that seems like about it. As of current time of recording, there is 35 premium banner units in the game and 22 4-stars, counting March as 1 because you can't use both at the same time. 7 standards in MC, 65 total characters, including Anaxa and Casto. So that's everything they added, and now I want to go through that one by one and kind of give you my reaction to how I felt about each of those. So let's go again. Pong cute animal minigame, I don't give a fuck. Base builder Farmville-like minigame, I don't give a fuck. One free, and the reason why I don't really care about any mini games that aren't being used to kind of beta test what will eventually be permanent features adding into their game mode. When they're just cute little games where you get like 300 jades, I understand people like those. Some people like those. I'm not one of those people. If you like it, you like it. If not, it's fine. I do like mini games when they are useful for development testing, things that the player base might enjoy. However, I don't find either of these to be useful whatsoever and merely distractions. And that's fine.
Interesting.
One free golden token, they can buy a 5-star in the shop. Luocha, Ruan, Mei standard banner units. More limited units will be added later, can save. If you're gonna use that, for the love of God, don't pull Luocha. You are a fucking idiot if you pull Luocha. Character's trash. And you'll see him probably getting buffed in the near future because God knows they need to. Congratulations on anybody who got a Ruan Mei. I think that's very kind of the developers to do. I think that's great. However, I would normally say they didn't need to do that. However, for a game like Honkai Star Rail, they needed to do that. And man, oh man, did they make sure that they did that for a price. What do I mean by that? Well, we'll get on that in a little bit. You can save it though, which I think is very cool. Hopefully the next characters that you can pull
Oh, I
from the
can't
shop
believe
for free
Tectone is
aren't
more
like
positive than Gacha Smack. That's
Zila,
crazy.
Blade,
What
aka
universe are we living in?
the units that nobody fucking wants to use. Myriad Celestia trailer like cutscenes being added directly to the story instead of just on their YouTube. I think that's cool. Yeah, I think that's nice to experience them in the game because, well, that makes sense and they're pretty much required content at this point, and I think that's very smart for the devs to do. Hopefully it'll drive more people to their YouTube who want to rewatch. And yeah, I got really tired of watching those stories off the fucking YouTube because it kind of felt like a spoiler sometimes. I also kind of don't like watching developer live streams much these days because they put too much spoilers into it. I hate to be the guy who says this, but
He's right.
I'm kind of grateful for the way that Wuthering Waves
right.
does it because they almost show you fucking nothing. But then again, it's like breakneck
Wuthering
speed.
Waves.
So like I like the pacing of Honkai Star Rail's developer livestream, but I like the presentation of Wuthering Waves livestream. But yeah, 1 free 5-star character later in 3.x patches. I think it's a pretty bad sign when the
Wuthering
majority
Waves show final
of
boss?
big
Okay.
updates and cool things that are going to happen to this game are announced. Yeah, just wait, 2 more updates and it'll be here. Yeah, just wait, 6 more updates and it'll be here. I mean, guys, we got an announcement for 3.8. Bro, I'll be dead by then. Fucking Hoyoverse Chinese assassins will come to my house and fucking slaughter me for fucking ruining the weapon
year's
banner
free
in
stuff
Genshin
to hoard
Impact.
you,
Yo, real vibe, I think the 12
congrats
years,
to
right?
all those people who are still alive, but
That's
I won't
crazy.
be one of them.
Dawei,
Yeah, it's
you're
just
done.
kind of annoying, to be honest. And to be honest, the free 5-star character is probably, hopefully going to be from the Fate collab. Hopefully we all get a free saber, and hopefully she's not another Aloy, where it's like you get 1 copy and she's shit and you can't get any constellation. I'm hoping it's not like that, but we will see. I was looking towards the Fate collabs quite a bit until I read some leaks where, you know, one of the characters is going to have another global passive, and there's going to be 2 other characters with global passives, and it's going to make 4 global passives, and it's like you got to have 4 characters in just the 3.0 expansion that have global passives, and collect all 5 and you summon Exodia and everything's fucking dead. And just, Jesus
Have
Christ.
5
Keep
global
going here.
passives, you win the game.
This one was cool.
Insane.
Blade Kafka, Jingliu, Silverwolf buffs in 3.4. Great. I think the buffs are a really good thing, and I'm really happy that they're doing that. But the thing that I'm worried about is, are they gonna be enough? How strong are we making these characters? Because as far as I'm concerned, Casterus is gonna blow every single character
Funding
out
the
of the fucking
global
water.
passive for Mr.
Oh my god,
String.
Sky, I only 2 months.
Objectively, at least by animations. Meta-wise, I don't know. I mean, she summons a fucking dragon. How could that thing not do 1 billion fucking damage? I mean, god damn, have you seen Casterus? Those animations are fucking ridiculous. Like, those things are fucking nuts. Like, that shit's gonna give me an existential crisis just thinking about. Those things are fucking insane. Fucking dragon breath, explode the earth. I mean, how could that shit not do 1 billion damage? I think the problem that I always get with whenever I talk about Honkai Star Rail, and this is coming from a guy who loves this fucking game.
Oh my god, Rona
1.0
Danelle, that advice
was,
up.
I think the best 1.0
Thank you.
of any Hoyoverse ever launched, any Hoyoverse game, maybe even any Gacha game ever launched. Speaking of
Bro, someone in chat just now said when the fight before the final boss is more difficult than the final boss. I really can't believe Tectone is that. It's so chill. He's so much more chill coming to Gacha Smack. God damn it.
Gacha games, obviously, I'm playing a lot of them right now. A lot of non-Hoyo titles, and it is crazy once you get out of the space how different things are. But yeah, I don't know if the buffs are going to be enough, because I know they're changing the scaling, but they're not reworking the characters, because in China, I don't believe you're allowed to rework them whatsoever. But I know you can change the scaling, and that's fine, as long as you're making the characters do more and not doing less. You cannot nerf a gacha character once it's made it to live service. That is against Chinese rules of regulation. I think there's a lot of what ifs in the air, and how good will they truly be? I'm not sure if the player base will be happy if Zeal is taken from a D tier unit up into a C tier unit, or maybe even a low B tier unit. Do I think Zeal is going to make it to a S tier unit? No, I don't think so. I've seen a couple of the leaks for what they're doing to her kit. They're increasing her damage by a little bit, but I'm not sure if it'll be enough. I mean, we'll have to see. I'm not a meta guy anymore. Then again, it kind of requires the brain capacity of a fucking squirrel to be a theory crafter and guide maker in the gacha space. And I'm sorry if that offends you, but you know that's the fucking truth. I mean, I think putting guide makers and theory crafters on a pedestal in this community is like a fucking joke. It's like, wow, so you learned how to put the red set on the red guy and the blue set on the blue guy? Oh man, look at that. Are you telling me if you do more damage, you get to clear the content easier? Man, look at that. That's so, oh man, you make the character
He's
faster,
right.
and that's how you make him clear
Just do
easier?
more
Oh
damage.
my god, that's crazy. Careful of that stick, Jesus.
What
It
the
almost
fuck?
attacked me.
Bro, he's
cool, I'm
zooming
I
out.
hope it doesn't shit on me. There's also a woodpecker in the background. Let me know if you can hear it. If you go back in the video, you might be able to hear it. It's kind of cool.
Bro, it's so chill.
Birdie. Anyways, 20 gold limited pulls, thank fucking God. There's 65 characters in the game. 1600 Stellar Jade, thank fucking God. Yep. Tectone story rework, added story in 3.8. That's the other thing, is that whether you want to say you like the story or not, the developers are acknowledging that they fucked up. And I think that really worked against them, and let me tell you why. Now that they have acknowledged that the story's fucked up and they need to condense it, they need to fix it, it doesn't make me want to play it. And the reason why that is because when 3.1 came out, after I got once 3.1 was talked about and 3.0 came out, I got halfway through the story and then I heard that they're going to be reworking it. And what that made me do is I just didn't want to play it because I was like, oh, okay, they're going to condense it. They're going to fix it. Okay, great. So I'll just stop playing it. And so I stopped playing it, waiting for the rework to come out, which I believe is coming out in 3.2. And then I realized how much I just didn't fucking care. Yeah, I just realized how much I really, really, really didn't fucking care. And the reason why I didn't fucking care is because I'm really getting tired of the Hoyo storytelling medium, which is there's a big overarching plot of how we need to find our brother or cure cancer on these planets. But unless you have the ADD attention span of a Zoomer, you're not really going to enjoy the storytelling, even though it is dragged out like fucking crazy. But what I mean by this is long term is all the characters that we bring along the way are boring as shit. Dan Heng is boring as shit. Himiko is boring as shit. Welt is the fucking man. Welt is the man. Main character is actually pretty good for Honkai Star Rail. March 7th is just annoying. And every time we go to a new story quest, they need to express to you how important the new character that you can pull for on the banner right now is, because we're going to insert this fucking character and we're going to ignore every other character that was ever fucking made. Look at this new fucking character. Spend $300 fucking now. And it's like, what about Kafka? What about Zila? What the fuck's going on in Bellabong? Is it still snowing? What about Bronya? What about Jingliu?
died.
What about all these other characters that I want to fucking like? But they
ate them.
condition you to only like the new characters, to only play as the new characters, to only see the new characters. That way you're not satisfied with the old ones. And it's depressing because I want to play as Kafka. That's my favorite character. I want to play as Jingliu. She's fucking awesome. But the game has made me forgot about her. They have made me forget. And it sucks because it would be nice if we had a cohesive story where the characters that we like are the characters that are in the fucking story. I've been playing some other gacha games, Olympus Company, which is one where you have around 10 characters the story focuses on, and they're in the story every single update, every single patch. Your favorite characters are there every single time without fucking fail. The new characters that are introduced in the story, you don't know whether they'll live or die because they're not on a premium banner. And it's just nice. Wizardry? Yeah, everybody, I made a video on that the other day. It was 3 hours and people said, oh dude, this is another flavor of the week gacha. And it's like, first of all, gachas are meant to be played on and off. I haven't touched Olympus Company in a month and it feels great because I don't have to worry about being there all the time. I go, I play,
so
I
you never
experience the story,
finished
and then
Olympus.
when I want to go back, I play it. It's the same way with how I read manga. I don't read every manga
When
week
you'll
to week
go
to
back
week.
to
I
Sekiro one
let
day,
it build
guys.
up, I give it a month, I go
Yep,
back and I
you'll
enjoy it.
finish
I go
it
through
one
it, I
day.
go through it, I get burnt out, I
Absolutely.
come back in a month, I read it. It's nice being able to break the chain. And by the way, Wizardry, Variants Daphne, one of my favorite stories in any gacha game. It's amazing. It was so good that when I got through the ending, and I was like, what the fuck? Oh, the ending of part 1, by the way. I went back to find the footage and I just rewatched it flat with nobody reacting and just reading the story just in case there was something I missed. And man, how they set up for part 2 is fucking incredible. And nobody's talking about this game. I genuinely believe that Wizardry Variants Daphne is probably the best gacha game on the market right now. And
Damn.
Hoyo
Holy
Tards,
shit.
are going to say, dude, it looks like shit. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I don't need graphics to be a good game. You know what I need? The game to be good for me to enjoy a good fucking game. And that's what it is. It's gripping. And I'm not going to talk about it more because I'm going to talk about it in another video. But man, I'm very exhausted by knowing that everything that I care about for these games are going to be left behind. And it blows the more that I play it. Because it's just like hyper fixate on the new character or you're not going to enjoy it. And I'm a guy with a lot of loyalty. And I'm a guy where I am a little bit emotional. I get easily attached to things that I really vibe with.
Damn.
And these new characters, they just don't connect with me at the same level that they did for Belobog. They don't connect with me the same way they did for even the Zhanzhou Luofu. Nothing's really hit the same in Penacony for the latter half and anything in, God, I don't even know the new zone's name. That's how detached I am. Emphorius, Jesus.
I feel okay. Wait. This particular point is very interesting. She's attached to the old stories, like the old Belobog, the old Shenzhou Luofu, more so than he's attached to like Penacony and like Emphorius and all that kind of stuff. Which is gonna be quite interesting because he likes Limbus Company, right? Which is where Limbus Company it takes the focus on the same cast and it just goes on all the way from like Kendo 1 all the way through the last Kendo. This is really a kind of tasting because like a personal tasting. Because the flip side is, there's no such thing as Emphorius. There's no such thing as Penacony. Let's just say there's only Belobog and Shenzhou Luofu. So like for the rest of HSR's lives, it will only be on Belobog and Shenzhou Luofu. And then we'll see like Jingliu XP, Kafka variant, Kafka in a maid outfit, Kafka in a chef outfit, Jingliu with like a basketball coach Jingliu. Or like some sort of, I feel like these kind of games would be something that he likes because of the loyalty thing, right? Which is why he likes Limbo Company so much. So this is really a deal. No more Firefly, no more nothing. Only 2 units. Jingliu and Kafka, and then you have like 20 different outfits, 20 different variants, and they're all 5 stars. Absolutely. And there's yep.
I just don't care. And it's a shame because I'm being conditioned to not care. And I know these characters are never going to fucking die because none of them ever fucking die. I mean, you got people talking about Himiko dying 8 fucking years ago on Honkai Impact 3rd because Xiao Ji wrote it that way, and it's like, yeah, dude, any character can die. Pepe laughed. He thinks this is a game for kids. It is. And it's frustrating. Now, I'm going to make an update video on this later because obviously there's a lot of doom and gloom in what I'm saying, but I hope you know that
I thought it
even
was
though it
not
might be
even
doom
as
and
much
gloom,
doom as...
am I wrong?
It's not even that
That's
much
what I
doom
really want you to think
after
about.
watching
I
Gacha
don't
Smack.
want you to think about how what I'm saying makes you feel. I want you to think about, am I wrong? Am I wrong? Because that's the only thing that matters. It doesn't matter if me telling you the average human lifespan is 64 years for a 6'6" person or 72 years for a 5'10" person. Am I wrong? Let's keep going here. Cut content being re-added can replace limited 50-50 losses with Zila, Blade, Fushuan over standard units.
His point is not so much that like, he doesn't like the story or like he hates the direction of like thing. It's more so like it's just not for him. Which is why in this case, he's completely in his right to feel that way, right? If he prefers this kind of like loyalty, he likes to stick with like Shenzhou, Kafka, all that kind of stuff, and he doesn't like having the attachments to newer areas and newer units and newer all the regions. I think it's completely fine, right? Like if he prefers these games and then these games don't give him this kind of things and he just want to quit, I think that's very, very valid, right? That is why like Limbus Company, Wizardry, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I think that's just very, very
This
valid.
is a great addition. However, all of those units fucking suck. I am really hoping that Blade becomes good in the future because I do very much like Blade. I think he's very cool. However, why would I want to pull for him when we have not seen him in well over a year? It is a shame. He is forgotten about. Nobody cares because he's not the newest
Bro,
unit.
Blade's coming
He's
back
not
to
the new
kill
shiny
Mighty.
toy, so he'll never be seen in the fucking story.
He's a story gamer.
Now, a lot of people are very excited about how much recurrency we're getting and how we're getting a new limited 5-star and how they're reworking the standard banner. You want to know why that is? Is because they've implemented some of the most predatory changes in any gacha I've ever fucking seen. And I feel like I'm going fucking crazy because they're not doing these changes because they care about you all. They're doing these changes so they can get away with the bullshit. It's legit damage control. Guys, they added in a fucking global passive for one character. There's 3 more on the way, which means before 3.0, before the 3x events are over, you're gonna be required to pull for 4 different fucking units or let your entire account be left behind. Are you really gonna wanna lose out on extra skill ups by just missing one character? Are you really gonna wanna lose out on max speed? Are you really gonna wanna miss out on global crit rate, crit damage, and a revive passive? No, I don't think you are. They're making a whale event, which can cost you up to $144. I believe there's a pack above that as well that I forgot to write down. A fucking whale event? That's where we're at? A fucking whale event. How is this even possible? How are not more people talking about this shit? This is fucking pathetic. We get a new story. Other than that, what the fuck did we get for 3.2? The anniversary patch, mind you. You know what we got for 3.2? Announcements of what's gonna happen later rather than anything in practicality right now. What the fuck am I supposed to do?
He's gonna cry, bro. Oh my god, he's gonna cry. Oh my god, he's gonna
The
cry.
3.2 live stream,
Oh my god, he's gonna cry.
they at least, you know, to my
Oh my
knowledge,
God.
cut the yap a little bit, and good for them. But I think 3.2 is a fucking joke.
He's gonna cry.
I do.
Oh my god.
It's distractions from what they're trying to do to their game. And I think once you become aware of the Hoyo model, it just becomes quite depressing now, doesn't it? If you play other games outside the genre, it becomes quite depressing.
Yep, Luke is the best
And it
game.
blows. Because I've played these games for like 4 fucking years now.
I've
4 and a
played
half,
these games
almost 5.
before.
And I hate not loving them.
Oh my god, he's gonna cry.
But it definitely does make
Oh
you
my
go
god, 4
crazy
out
in
of 5
this
gives it.
community sometimes. because
Boom! 10 out of 5.
It's go along with the blind sheep who gobble everything up. Or even worse, the content creators who say how bad it is and then continue promoting the fucking game for all that it is and turning a blind eye. They say, oh, this is so bad, I'm still gonna do it. Oh, dude, this is so predatory, still gonna pull it. Oh, dude, it's my career. Dude, if your career means that you have to go against the very same ethics and morals that you preach to other people, you're pathetic.
Oh my god.
You are.
Look
It's
at
such a
yourself.
shitty, gay-ass excuse that you're using for convenience. You can get upset at me if you like, but you know what you can't do? Tell me that I'm wrong. I don't think 3.2 is what the game needed at all. I think the game is getting worse every update. And yeah, it's nice to be out in nature and be disconnected from it all. But that's just my opinion. I would love to know what you guys think. Feel free to leave me a message in the comments. And apologies if this video was
Life.
emotional,
Oh my god, he cried, guys. He cried.
unpacking a lot
3.2 made him cry.
of deep-rooted anxiety
Oh my goodness.
and hatred
Holy
out
shit.
on this trip. And it's very therapeutic. And I didn't really want to hold anything back for this video.
Oh my goodness.
So I hope that you enjoyed it. And as you can tell, I needed a little bit of a break. The amount of hope that I've seen in the comments, I want to read these off to you. I wrote these down.
Oh my god.
I was so angry.
Oh my god, so angry.
I was so angry I wrote these down.
Rage.
Here we go. I'm not going to say which content creators chat and which content creators comments I saw this in. But here we go. It's just
Oh my god. Chat, is it you guys? You fucking fucks. Oh my god, I swear it's you guys. Dude, we had almost like 9,000 viewers yesterday. It has to be you guys. Alright, who said it? Who the hell said it? And he hasn't even said it. I already know it's you guys. Who the hell said it? It's me. It's me. God. Oh, and there it is. Yep. And there it is. Okay. Let's see what he says. Mods, can you guys find this? Can you guys find this? Can my mods find this guy? Okay, let's see what this guy said. Let's see what this guy said.
a game
Hold up.
But here we go. It's just a game. Imagine being angry over a character being broken in a PvE game. The passive isn't even that good. The passive is just a backup. Enemies never deal that enough damage to kill you. It's your fault if your characters die. You only hate the passive because Castrus is a woman.
Wait, what?
Passive because Castrus is a woman.
Okay, there's no way someone in my chat said it. Did anyone in my chat say that? Because Casterus is a woman. I swear to God, that is crazy.
It's your fault if your characters die. You only hate the passive because Castrus is a woman.
Okay, who the fuck said that? Mind blower. Is it mind blower? It was mind blower. Box 2. I have no idea who the fuck said that. That is crazy. Next on me.
You should have been saving for Castrus since 2.7 anyways. She's basically free if you save for months beforehand. It's a gacha game. What do you expect? Let me tell you, man. If you play more than Hoyo gachas, you can expect a lot. But in this community, it appears that the bare minimum to some players is going above and beyond for their players. And I'm not going to pretend like I'm impressed with it. 3.2 update was an absolute fucking joke. And I mean that on everything.
God damn.
People who think otherwise are getting distracted by pretty bells and whistles, and they'll realize how truly soulless this game that was once full of life truly is.
Oh no.
Pathetic.
Pathetic.
See you on the next one.
Well, that's it, guys. That's it. Everyone is quitting HSR, man. Everyone is quitting HSR. It is now time to wrap it up.